Hi everyone, in this video we're going to be looking at the VLOOKUP function. In Microsoft Excel, the VLOOKUP function takes a value, searches a table, and then returns a result in a given column. The VLOOKUP function is made of either 3 or 4 parts depending on what you are trying to search for. These parts are the lookup value, the table array, the column index, and the range lookup. Here I have a table of grades and scores. I want to be able to use the VLOOKUP to tell me what grade someone who scored 78 achieved. To start, I'd write equals VLOOKUP, then open brackets. The first part of the VLOOKUP is the lookup value. As the person scored 78, this is my lookup value. So I type 78, then a comma. The comma tells Excel to move on to the next part of the formula. This works for all formulas within Microsoft Excel. The second part of the VLOOKUP is the table array. This is simply where all the data we want to search for is saved. So in this example, that's cell A1, B6. In order to search this table, the VLOOKUP will always look in the first column. In this example, that would be column A. Unfortunately, the scores are not listed in column A, so they need to be swapped around. When the VLOOKUP searches through this first column, any numbers need to be sorted from lowest to highest. Without these changes, the VLOOKUP function will not work correctly. We then type a comma in order to move on to the third part of the VLOOKUP. This is the column return. Quite simply, which column do you want to be displayed? So from our table, we want the letters to be displayed, the grades. That is in the second column, so we type number 2. We then close the brackets to complete the form. The formula reveals that a person who scored 78 will achieve a grade B. There is a fourth part to the VLOOKUP, the range lookup. By default, Excel will set the range lookup to be true. If you want it to be false, you need to tell it to be false. So, when we tell Excel that the range lookup is false, this changes how the VLOOKUP searches the first column in the table for our lookup value. When we select false, Excel will still search for the first column, but this time search for an exact match. This means that if the table does not contain an exact match, an error will be given. It also means that the table no longer needs to be sorted into ascending order. In this example, I've set the range lookup to false again. However, this time my lookup value is the number 70. Because 70 appears in the first column, the VLOOKUP will return an accurate result. So, to recap, the VLOOKUP is constructed in the following way. Equals VLOOKUP, open brackets, the lookup value, comma, the table array, comma, the column return, comma, and then the range lookup. Finally, closing the brackets. Remember, the range lookup is optional. Thank you for watching.